What's up, gamers? It's your boy. You can see from my backwards hat that I am one of you guys. One of the kids.
We're one of the youths.
Yeah, one of the youths. God, I did not bring a skateboard. That would have actually been a really fun thing to do. Hey, it's Nirav. I'm here with Jess, who's my co-anchor. We're here today to present to you the nominees for the Lusties. Jess, tell them about the Lusties.
The Lusties are a prestigious awards that we hold
As you
every
can
year.
tell by our outfits.
They're right up there with the Golden Globes and
I like how you cited the Golden Globes, the least respected award show out there.
We were gonna have Ricky Gervais on tonight, but unfortunately he said he's busy. So we decided to step in and help GameLuster out a little bit.
Yeah. Alright, so what we've got here is 24 beautiful categories, which sounds like a lot, but is still like half as much as Jeff Keighley has, so suck on those. We actually have, we do things a little differently because we don't like to group everything into genre categories because most games are like 2 or 3 genres, so it doesn't make like a lot of sense to do that. So instead we try to celebrate the little things in games that like touched us or were memorable in some way this year. So yeah, why don't we'll work our way up to Game of the Year, of course. Can't start with that one. But yeah.
I'll scroll down then.
What?
I'll scroll down then.
Okay, we'll start on Best Narrative there.
Alright.
So yeah, everybody get ready. 3, 2, 1, Lusties. We need I'm gonna edit my voice down so it's like Lusties. I guess I didn't need to edit it, I just did it. So, first award is for Best Narrative. This is for outstanding storytelling, dialogue, and use of narrative that takes advantage of the gaming medium. That's important. So, we got Alan Wake 2, A Space for the Unbound, Baldur's Gate 3, El Paso Elsewhere, Spider-Man 2, and The Fabulous Fear Machine. Now you do one, Jess.
Reading out a category.
Yes.
The next one is for a very serious award. This is the one we've all got our fingers crossed for. It's the hottest character. This is a new category for this year, and I can't imagine what's triggered this, but here we are. So this awards a character in a game this year that has got us all rolled up and acting a fool. And nominated for this award is Jill Rorick, Final Fantasy 16, Jury, Street Fighter 6, Karlach, Baldur's Gate 3, literally the hottest character, Dave, the Diver, Professor Garlic, Hogwarts Legacy, Pura, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Solomon Reed, Cyberpunk 2077.
Did you say 2077? Oh,
2077.
Yeah, I don't know, that bothered me for some reason. It's not wrong, but... Our next category is Excellence in Robotics. So each year we have a fun little category about basically some sort of the best of some sort of mascots, like we did dogs one year. So this year we've got Excellence in Robotics for the best robot, automaton, or generally mechanical character from a video game this year, Beep Boop. So we've got BD-1 from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, a champion of the people. Cinnamon from Hi-Fi Rush, Minoru from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, The Core from SteamWorld Build, and Vasco from Starfield, and also my cat Ellie, who is a little robot. Oh no.
He's like, why has there not been a Best Cat Award?
Yeah, I can't see the screen.
Alright, next up we've got Biggest Disappointments. This is a game we had high hopes for, that let us down one way or another. The winner of this award is forever banished to the Lustless Isles.
You don't want to go there.
So this has got to be a game that we generally had high hopes for to begin with, and then massively disappointed us. So nominated for this award is Callisto Protocol, Exoprimal, Redfall, Romance Sylvania, Starfield, and The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
We all know one of these games doesn't belong on this list. I'm gonna let the audience decide what that is.
We're all really looking forward to The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Actually,
I'll tell you.
That's actually a better point than the one I was gonna make, because I tried to stress that you're supposed to have been looking forward to the game for it to have disappointed you. I don't know if anyone listened. Actually, Wordy was very hyped for Gollum. So,
How was he?
yeah, mostly because he likes old jank games. But anyway.
Was he looking forward to seeing Gollum's 6 most popular catchphrases?
His 6 most iconic gestures and sayings.
Yeah.
5 of which were different forms of chasing a beetle around a room. So for best new IP, this is for the best new world filled with original characters and places we just could not stop exploring. For this we have Chance of Sinar, Corn Kids 64, Dave the Diver, Lies of P, and Starfield. Lots of sequels this year, and all of them were honestly really good, but
Yeah.
it's nice to see like some new stuff still showing up, so hats off to these little guys.
Yeah. And congrats to Starfield for both being nominated for Best New IP and Biggest Disappointment.
Sometimes when people vote, different groups of people vote for different things. That's all I can say on that.
Yeah. Oh, next
Now
up,
you go.
Next up, we've got Best Expansions. This is also a new category. This is also a new category because we've had so many good expansions this year, so we wanted to like award them specifically. So this is for a DLC or expansion that was released this year that builds on what made the original game so great, while also providing some I don't know how to say that word.
Innovative.
To mark a new and memorable experience. So nominated for this, we have Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. Do you know? Yeah, I guess it sounds a bit weird.
They always say 2077. I've never heard anyone say it another way. Anyway.
Horizon, Burning Shores, Phasmophobia Ascension, Rain World Downpour, The Case of the Golden Idol, The Spider of Lanka, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Future Redeemed.
You had to have done that on purpose to make me angry. What did you say? Xenoblade?
Is that not how it's pronounced?
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade. I think British people do say Xenoblade with their accent, but yeah, Xenoblade. Just it's definitely not Xenoblade. God, all right. The best multiplayer at the Game Awards is presented by Discord, so I figured that TeamSpeak would be our sponsor. Or Skype. Maybe we can do Skype.
Yeah, or Zoom.
For a game, can you imagine playing like, buddy, hey, get on Zoom. I want to play Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, on Microsoft Teams.
For a game, okay, so Best of Buddies brought to you by Microsoft Teams. For a game in which playing alongside friends, whether on the couch or online, elevates the experience to incredible new heights. We've got Baldur's Gate 3, Sons of the Forest, Storyteller, Street Fighter 6, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I noticed there were not a lot of games in this category this year. I think this has been the rise of single-player games. They're back, baby. Yeah. Also, all the old multiplayer games people have been playing for a long time are bad now, so that probably didn't help.
I do think I've just realised we should have nominated Kelvin for hottest character for the amount of times he walked over the camp's bonfire.
He was always doing something though. You can't.
He was always on fire.
Yeah.
Walking into a lake.
Probably one of my favorite sons I've had.
Next is the Barbenheimer Award. So again, this is a new category for this year, and it's specifically to award the funniest pair of thematically disparate games that released on the same day this year. So a bit like Barbie and Oppenheimer. So we've got Assassin's Creed Mirage and Detective Pikachu Returns, Atomic Heart and Like a Dragon Ishin, Bayonetta Origins and WWE 2K23.
I like that one. No, I like that one.
Yeah. Forspoken and Hi-Fi Rush. And Spider-Man 2 and Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
I'm kind of voting, or I'm urging towards Bayonetta Origins / WWE 2K23 because that is very funny. But somebody pointed out today correctly that Barbie and Oppenheimer were both things people were looking forward to and were both also good. So Spider-Man 2 and Mario probably fits the best.
Yeah.
But it is a lot less funny than John Cena like battling a demon. For Indie Game of the Year, This is an important title. Of course, we give a lot of thought to this. This is the best game from an independent developer with a smaller budget and smaller team that stands up to and even surpasses the experiences AAA games can deliver. We've got a good haul this year. 9 Years of Shadows, A Space for the Unbound, Chants of Sinar, Corn Kids 64, Dredge, and El Paso Elsewhere. I want to also give a shout out that this category was the biggest one we had by far for things people wanted to vote for and did vote for. We had 24 different indie games in here that people put their points into when our staff was voting, and I think that just speaks to like how many great indie games there were this year on top of how many great AAA games there were, because some of these indies definitely can get lost in the shuffle there.
Yeah, at GameLuster we play a huge range of indie games every year in our reviews, so it's really good to be able to give these a little bit more awareness through these awards too. Next up we have Best Villain. So I assume this is a returning category, isn't it?
It is. We've had it for 3 years, I think, now.
Yeah, so every year this category is for the most formidable, detestable, memorable, and perhaps love to hate them villain in gaming this year. The winner will represent evil and chaos in a fresh way and be remembered for years to come. So it's worth noting that these aren't always characters in video games, but just people within the video game industry in general.
Yeah.
Because
it's
running
really
for this award.
Sorry, I forgot. I wanted to comment on our previous winners. Actually, no. Go ahead and say the things first. So.
All right. Running for this award is Bobby Kotick, Cazador from Baldur's Gate 3, J.K. Rowling, Hogwarts Legacy, Rehydrated Ganondorf, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, that one guy who stole all the copies of Starfield from the USPS warehouse and went to prison forever just to show grainy footage of the game 3 days early, and Unity feat John, who's I don't know.
John Riccitello.
Yeah.
He's the CEO of Unity who made all the bad decisions. So I want to first shout out to the guy who stole those copies of Starfield, because he's sort of an anti-hero, I think.
Yeah.
He may be a champion to the people and will not be remembered for the good he did, but only the villainy. We did have this award the last 2 years, and actually I'm realizing that we've never given it to a video game character, because the first year the winner was Activision Blizzard, and last year was Helena Taylor. So I'm thinking that trend is probably going to continue this year, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we should just outright make it like about the gaming industry. I don't know. Cozy Game of the Year. This is the best game that just made us feel all comfy inside. This game would have been one that helped us escape the stress of the real world and just kind of like snuggle into a good time. Jess, I see that you're ready to enjoy some cozy games right now.
Yeah, so this is a new genre again this year, because cozy gaming has I would say it's like exploded a bit this year. Like it got quite popular during COVID because people were playing
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
God.
But I've noticed in particular this year it's like it's really grown popular, even with people who don't usually video games. So we thought it was worth pointing this out this year and awarding a cozy game.
Yeah, and I think from what I understand, a lot of that is actually through TikTok. Like cozy games are getting a lot of exposure that way, and people who aren't really into gaming are kind of being like, oh, I guess I guess games aren't all about like shooting people. Like maybe I should try this out. Which is really cool. So this year we've got Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, Escape from Mistwood Mansion, My Little Universe, Pacarette Down the Bun Burrows, and Smooshy Come Home. I also want to comment on how cute all of these names are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of the people who played Pacarette Down the Bun Burrows, but I imagine it's about some little bunnies just living their life.
Oh, no, not exactly.
No.
You play, I can't remember what she's doing, but basically you've gone down a bun burrow and you're trying to catch bunnies.
Ah.
I think they're causing, like, you run a shop or something and they're causing chaos. So
I think I would like to be the bunny in that scenario. That's sort of an Untitled Bunny game idea.
Yeah, so the next category is excellence and diversity. So this is for stepping above the status quo in representing racial, gender, or sexual minorities in gaming as real three-dimensional characters. Is this another new genre, another new category?
We have actually had this for the last 4 years since I've been here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So running for this category is Baldur's Gate 3, In Stars and Time, Jagged Alliance 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Vemba.
My comment on this category is that, first of all, I'm glad we do this, and secondly, or rather, one of our writers, Wordy, aka Mateus, I guess, aka Wordy, is he wrote a really nice thing in his review of In Stars and Time, and that it was a game that, as much as it impacted him, he was realizing because of how, like, you know, much it worked at having, like, powerful representation for minority groups. Like, he realized that this was going to be the most important game of somebody else's life. And
yeah,
that really stuck with me. And I just want to give a shout out because, like, I feel like things like Venba, like, you know, that's the one I know the most about. But, you know, Spider-Man 2, even, I've talked a lot about how much I love the Miles' struggle in that story between his identities and his racial identities and stuff like that, and it really hits me. But I think everybody can find something in this that, like, in these games that, like, they relate to, and it, you know, it's hard to overstate how good it feels to feel seen.
Yeah, it's worth rewarding the developers and studios that put in the effort to give light onto certain like groups so that people feel included.
Yeah, and the reason I word it the way I did is because, like, you know, we have to be clear, like, you know, just doing the basic minimum, doing the status quo isn't good enough. The next category we have is another new one. When I read this list out, see if you can figure out who inspired it. This category is I Can Fix Them. For a character in a game this year that is definitely not relationship material. But if you ignore all those pesky red flags, I bet you could teach them to be a decent person, right? That always works in real life, though, so, you know, I don't know. This year, our nominees are Asterion from Baldur's Gate 3, Ganondorf from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Goro Majima from Like a Dragon Gaiden, Mr. Ku from The Many Pieces of Mr. Ku, and the Princess from Slay the Princess. We got a good selection here. Shout out to Mr. Ku, who was literally in a bunch of different pieces, and we gotta fix him.
Up next is the Best Soundtrack Award. So this is for excellence in using score and soundtrack to capture and define moments and vibes. So running for this award, we've got Baldur's Gate 3, El Paso Elsewhere, Final Fantasy 16, Brawl, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, these, and let me also shout out, we got so many submissions for soundtrack and so many votes. Like, everything we had in our soundtrack category, which was over 20 games, got voted for by at least a few people. There was an incredible list of them this year, and, you know, it's always sad when you're looking down at the list and you're like, oh man, you know, this thing didn't get in there, but, you know, it's all we can do. It's all we can do. Our next one is Best Game World. This is a new one this year. We kind of have, we've toyed at iterations in the past, but I like this here. For a world that feels so fantastical, well-realized, and beautiful, we feel like we really went there. This can be a fictional world or a recreation of a real place, but these worlds are defined by immersion and attention to detail. So our nominees are Earth from Pikmin 4, and I guess also from real life. Grand Chien from Jagged Alliance 3, Hyrule in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Celestia from Octopath Traveler 2, The Forgotten Realms, as featured in Baldur's Gate 3, and the world of The Many Pieces of Mr. Ku, which is, check it out if you don't know about it. It's a beautifully animated world in the style of old, you know, 40s and 50s cartoons that were just coming into colorization. Similar to Cuphead, without the, you know, mind-bending difficulty, so...
Without the stress.
Yeah.
And you'll also find the Many Pieces of Mr. Ku in this world as well.
He's in there.
Yeah.
Can we give a shout-out to Earth? It was I like Earth.
Right, up next we've got Best Lead Performance. So So this is for performance for a lead role by an actor or actress in a game that from a game this year, whether it's just voiced or full body motion capture. So running for this award, we've got Ben Starr as Clive Rosfield in Final Fantasy XVI. We've got Naji Jeter, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2. Neil Newbon as Starion, Baldur's Gate 3. Roger Clark as Jack Leary in Fort Solis. And, it's another X1, let's see.
Yeah, Xavier Nelson, I believe.
Pardon?
Xavier Nelson, I believe.
Xavier, I was going to say.
No, it's not Xavier. Xavier. It's a new name.
Xavier.
You gotta read all the letters in the word, Jess, before you say it.
As James Savage in El Paso Elsewhere.
For Best Supporting Performance this year, to go along with it, we have Amelia Tyler as the narrator from Baldur's Gate 3, Elias Tufexis as Sam Coe in Starfield, Joseph Balderrama as Arlecchino in Lies of P, Julia Brown as Jessica Appleton in Fort Solis, and Matt Mercer as Ganondorf in The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm only just now realizing Matt Mercer was playing Ganondorf.
Wow.
That's great.
All right, well...
So an interesting fact about this category is when we were doing our nominations, this category didn't exist, and it was due to the amount of nominations that we had for best performance that we ended up splitting them.
Yeah, and it was not just the number of nominations, it was how divided people were. Unlike, there were so many good performances that stood out to people this year that this felt like a good way to get at least a few more names out there.
Next up, we got Best Boss Fight. So this is a fun category for the most memorable battles of the year. The winner will have multiple key elements such as an excellent villain, great design, and an epic moment that you just can't get off your mind. So running for this award, we've got Dagon Gera in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Demon Dragon, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Mimosa in Hi-Fi Rush, Nameless Puppet, Lies of P, and Raphael in Baldur's Gate 3.
I've heard a lot of people talking about Raphael. Haven't met him yet.
You haven't met Raphael yet?
I heard he's a rude dude.
Yeah, he's basically the devil, but his fight is pretty memorable due to one key aspect. Well, I'd say there's a few aspects of it, but there's one moment that really gets you, but I won't spoil it for you.
Oh yeah, I'm just before the end of Act 1, if I understand correctly, so I'm moving slowly.
I think you've walked past them.
Whoops! Excellence in art design. For a game that brings a notable art style, impressive theming, and visual cohesion to a world that makes you want to just keep taking it in. Our nominees for this category are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Hogwarts Legacy, Layers of Fear, and Rainworld Downpour. Jess, I know you're happy that Layers of Fear snuck in here.
I think was that both me and Nara voting for that one? Yeah. Yeah, I was really gunning for that one.
Yeah, this is a nice one because we don't have a lot of overlap with the Game Awards, which has the exact same category, so I'm glad we can, see a few more different things. Yeah,
because Layers of Fear had its faults. Its art design definitely wasn't one of them. I thought that was really well done. So, yeah. And next up, we've got the Best Kennergy Award. Unsurprisingly, this is another new category for this year. So this is a person where all you want to do is tell them that they are Kenough. So we've got running for this award Asterion, not that one. Asterion. Asterion in Stray Gods, a role-playing musical. Gale, Baldur's Gate 3. Ken, Street Fighter. Peppino Spaghetti, Pizza Tower. Sidon, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I really gotta wonder if Ken is gonna win this because his name is Ken. Our next one is for Best Living Game. So this is for a game that's been receiving continual updates, expansions, and new content for at least a year and is better than ever. For this list, we have Cyberpunk 2077, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, No Man's Sky, and Phasmophobia. I want to also give a shout out because some of these are kind of smaller games, and a lot of the larger living games like Destiny have sort of not been going so well this year. So I'm glad a few of these smaller ones are getting a little bit of a shout out.
Yeah.
Bungie!
Next up, we got most anticipated. So these are the games that are coming up that we're most excited about at GameLuster. We will present the top 5 of these in order. So this is running for this award. We've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Haunted Chocolatier, Little Nightmares 3, Persona 3 Reloaded, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and The Wolf Among Us 2.
I've been waiting for The Wolf Among Us 2 for close to 10 years, so we will see.
Yeah.
Please don't fail me. Please, God. We have another category here, which we've been doing the last few years that I don't like to think of it as a loser's bracket. But here's what it is. This category is called the best of the rest. This category is called the loser's bracket. These are the best games this year that did not manage to grab a nomination in any of our categories, but their point totals among voting for all of the other games and other categories on this list were the highest. So basically, these are the 5 most liked games that didn't get a nomination anywhere. We've got Armored Core 6, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Cassette Beasts, Homebody, and Sea of Stars. So I know those Sea of Stars people are out there writing their angry comments right now. We got it up here, okay? Leave me alone.
Game of the Year award. So yeah, this is our big one for this year. It's celebrating the game that showed the best gaming has to offer over any other. This game is going to show innovative gameplay, a fantastic story.
You said innovative, but that's okay. We'll just edit it to make it sound like you said the word right.
I'll say innovative now, and then you can edit that.
Yeah.
Into that
Okay.
Sentence. Yeah. A fantastic story, a mastery of a genre, all of the above. So.
There's so much to get through.
Just cut that bit out. Just say.
Yeah.
And next we've got Game of the Year.
Innovative, aluminium. You have to say
Nominated.
the names of the games down.
Nominated for the Game of the Year award, we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Pikmin 4, Spider-Man 2, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Bet you thought we'd forgotten that one.
No, we did have it in there, don't worry. I was trying to hold up the number of fingers corresponding to the number entry that this was in the franchise. Final Fantasy got pretty difficult, but...
Oh yeah, I just realized these are all sequels.
Yeah, all of them, actually, except Lies of P, are sequels. So,
oh yeah, of course.
If you aren't already, make sure to follow us on x.com, my favorite social media platform, at x.com/GameLuster. I hate this world that we live in. And also at Instagram, at GameLuster. We're going to be putting up a lot of little spotlights for our nominees. And yeah, we just want you to join us for that. And of course, you can keep an eye on when the results are going to be coming in. They should be probably in about 2 weeks' time, maybe a little less. So keep an eye out. And we're going to have features coming up on the GameLuster.com website. Our website, you can find us there. We're going to have little featurettes coming for each of our 7 nominated Game of the Year nominees, just kind of outlining why they're one of the best games of the year and showcasing that for everybody. So yeah, if you want to follow along with that, that would be awesome. Jess, hit him with our advertisement partner. Who's sponsoring us today?
Elon Musk.
Okay.
All right, he's not sponsoring us.
Yeah. This commercial is brought to you by Air Up water bottles.
Yeah, this commercial is brought to you by Yeti Mic, because I got rid of my ball.
Oh yeah. Excellent. Well, you can also catch us if you know about the GameBusters podcast. Jess is also on there with me. We are currently traveling through time in perhaps a terrible time machine made of all the video game movies that have ever existed.
World's worst time machine.
The world's worst time machine. And you can follow along with us, reacting to and reviewing these movies. We're having a good time, though. We'll also be, of course, returning for Dragon Busters Season 2 next year, in summer when House of the Dragon Season 2 drops. We'll also be covering the Fallout TV show week to week next April, so make sure you stay tuned for those things. You can find us under the GameLuster's podcast and on your favorite podcatcher, whatever it is. My friend texted me yesterday, she's using Overcast. Whatever, we're in there. Go find us.
Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, we review so many indie games every year. So to kind of like highlight the ones that weren't shown in our awards, I have been putting together a highest reviewed games video. So that's basically going to show all the games from this year that we've given a 9 or a 10. So that I'll be putting that together for New Year's Day.
And you were telling me that's going to be pretty short and concise, correct?
Yeah, there was barely any good games this year, so...
Is that thing going to be 30 minutes long?
It's going to be about 2 hours, I think. So
there's a lot of good games! Get off my back!
Yeah, to put this into context, so last year, I think we had 27 9 or 10 out of 10 games. And that video was an hour long, and this year we have nearly doubled that.
Yeah, now I will also say we've been reviewing a lot more games this year too, so we're not just doing an IGN over here. It's a little something for everyone.
We've stopped reviewing games below 7.
We've stopped reviewing games that we know are going to get less than a 7, so just to save ourselves the trouble. Thank you guys for joining us. We are going to be back with a video that showcases our winners, and of course you can catch that on our website as well at GameLuster.com. Stop on by, take a look around. We've got some really talented writers for you to check out. Right. Bye guys.
Bye.
Jess, can you say the traditional gamer goodbye from your country?
See ya.
Okay, I thought it might be something like toss off or something like that.
Oh my god, that's...
No?
You know what that means?
No, I don't. I made it up just now.
Alright, cut the recording, I'll tell you what it means.